Hello and welcome to the Monday night episode of the Blitz Pickup. It's your girlfriend Sanity, and we are back. Yes, we are back after that crazy preseason game, but no days off, no shows off. We're here to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the game, the starters. We're going to talk about the depth. I'm just here to say I identify as a woman, and I know that. You know what? Let's not be messy. Let's not be messy. But let's really get into the show. Tone Lou, let's go.
Starting already. Oh my God.
You know
How y'all
what?
doing?
You know
Okay,
what?
listen.
I'm good. Hopefully y'all are well. And I'll say this: if your mama named you Cassius Clay, I'm gonna
Oh
call you
God.
Cassius Clay. That's all you need to know.
Oh, we lost for 70. Dang. You said mama named you Cassie Clay. She got up out of here. She don't play by Muhammad Ali, I guess. Um,
You know she can't hear us,
wow.
huh?
Wow. She probably couldn't hear us. That's probably what it was. Can she- I got it. Can you dang? Oh, go ahead, Lou. Then you got go ahead.
Is it because
Hey,
I'm
can
a
you hear
woman?
it?
Like, what are we
My
doing?
bad,
Oh,
my bad, my bad.
I'm not gonna lie, but Jalen just said, "Yo, y'all cut it out, boy. It's already Von Joe, Jalen. Man, listen, it was a nice one. Hey man, nice to have conversations and people don't get well. It get a little crazy, but nobody get offended and things of that nature. Lou always say he's very comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. I believe we all share that same type of energy and mindset. So, I got a lot of DMs and text messages. I'll say, but how y'all doing, man? Let's talk about this team, man. Y'all got anything y'all want to talk about before we get up there?
Oh yeah. I do want to go out and say, shout out to the pitcher from Iowa who had an amazing game. So people can't say that I'm biased or that I'm not being nice or whatever. I don't know. But shout out to that pitcher. He had a great game. New Jersey will bounce back though. That's all I got to say. I'm ready for the show. I'm ready.
Did you just say shout out to the pitcher of Iowa?
Uh, some people, that it's all they have. Okay, it's not all they have, but it's a big piece of what they have. So I just want to let Iowa fans know that it's okay. It's okay. I hope they are successful, whatever that means to them. I will not troll them if they ever lose because those are kids, and I'm not here to come at anyone's kids. It is what it is. I just support New Jersey, and that's it. I only talk about New Jersey, but I wanted to give a shout out since people want me to talk nice or whatever. I don't know what that means. I'm already told that I'm too nice, but I guess
Extremely. Y'all ready for the madness, man? I'm here for the madness. Yeah, extremely. I'm here
make
for
sure
the
you just
madness.
bring me up on the next slide because I went out and I came back. I can't transition yet. Like I want to, but I can't.
Hey.
Oh
Careful.
yeah. Oh, I'm
Be
sorry. You're right.
careful.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's a word. I am. So
We're gonna go to the. You know what, Sandy? You've been hanging around us too long. You've been hanging around. You starting to get messy. You losing your nice girl mentality. You know what? All right, cool.
okay. Let's keep this simple. Okay. I don't even know if my dad is here. Dad, I'll tell you about it later if you are. Tony. I'm not in the business of overreacting, right? And I feel like you're not in the business of overreacting. So I want to go to you first. How do you feel about the preseason game?
I'm glad you said he asked what's the Pops here. And yes, shout out to Pops. He said, what's up? Let's pick up. I'm glad you said not in the business of overreacting.
Mhm.
So everything that we talk about and that I'm going to talk about the preseason is not an overreaction, right? And I do want to put the caveat out there because we criticize them doesn't mean it's an overreaction. You just got to be honest with it. I think people have to differentiate what's the difference between overreacting and just giving an honest take. Now, in the preseason, I don't even know how many times I got to reiterate this. I told y'all those backups look trash, right? Look, we have quarterback issue. They didn't have one good drive. Maybe a half a good drive. One good drive they haven't. They didn't put one sustainable drive together. 3 first downs. If y'all was here live watching this, they had 3 first downs. The New York Giants literally had more scoring drives than we had first downs. I don't care how you slice it. If it's the first, second, third, fourth, it could be the 15 teamers. If your 15 stringers cannot get more than 3 first downs, you have a issue. That game was bad. I understand that everything is vanilla, but it goes both ways. If we're running vanilla plays, so are the Giants. So at that point, it's mano y mano. Who player can outwork or beat the other player? And what that basically told us is we don't have practically anyone on this roster that's more talented than the backups over there in New York. That's basically what that's saying. And if we have to we'll be dishonest and being disingenuous if we think that some of these guys aren't going to get in there and have some playing time. Jacob Rodriguez played 9 plays. I want y'all to remember that. Kyle Lewis played 32 plays. And we know he's going to have a significant role in his offense. On his team, and more specifically on defense. Chris Johnson played in that game. Dante Trader Jr. played significant plays. So at some point, there should have been some type of difference makers and something to show that, we have some hope of the depth. I do want to say this, though. For everyone that's probably trying to look at Sully or Hafley and want to jump ship because of how horrible they look, that right there, I think, pump your brakes. Pump your brake, that's an overreaction. We knew coming in that they didn't have no money. What they had around about $80 million to spend? Y'all understand that, right? They had maybe like around $80 million to spend. So compare that to the rest of the NFL. Is a 301 salary cap. Most people have more than that. We had $179 million in dead cap. That's just dead cap. So when people are like, oh, so 179, I mean, they have more money. No, that's dead cap. Not to include the people that's already under contract that also are on the cap. So we knew that they were handcuffed with the depth that they brought in. But I think, and I know I don't want to say it, take too much of my brother Thunder, right? I'm going to end it here so everyone can get an opportunity. But I think Lou said the best. We brought in Tutu Atwell and Jalen Tolbert. They was both third down receivers on their respectful squad. Tutu had a pretty decent year with the Rams 1 year, and Jalen Tolbert had a pretty decent year with Dallas Cowboys 1 year as a third down receiver. So for them to come in and not perform or look as terrible as they look, that has nothing to do with the coaching and them not getting separation. Don't tell me that's coaching. That's execution. We come in here, we see everything. We watch the joint practice. We watched everything. So the execution has been terrible. I say this every single time. Don't tell me that they're in practice and you don't see separation and you don't see players getting open or defenders making tackles or the turnovers. What did I say about the turnovers? For everyone that was praising his defense for getting turnovers, I said, don't forget a lot of them was coming off wide receivers dropping passes. Miss Sandy Lou, did we see wide receivers dropping passes? That preseason game?
Absolutely.
Multiple times. Dropping passes. These are the things that we're seeing in practice. So if you think we're over exaggerating when we sit in practice and saying they need to fix this, this is the prime example of how you practice is how you're going to play. The same issues are rearing their head. We told you the secondary was getting torched. The run defense was pretty good. Saturday, that defense was getting the run defense was getting torched too. And I kept on saying it's the first unit that's holding up the end of the bargain. The second, third, and fourth is just not good. It's not there. And I think, I'm going to end right there. I'm not over exaggerating, but we can see that, man, the performance that they put out there wasn't up to par. And I have one, because I've always been, a supporter of Jeff Hafley. I have this one criticism. I do. I understand you come out and you just bought in that linebacker and you was running 2 plays. And they gave up only six points in the second half. So cool. But don't tell me those 2 plays prevented you from having your players closer to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 7. Don't tell me that you were only able to run plays to where your defenders, your secondary, because they weren't new. I understand the linebacker responsibility, cool. But the secondary with Dante Traylor Jr., Kyle Lewis, and others that was here, Jason Marshall Jr. and Marco Wilson Jr., they all been here all training camp. So don't tell me that you couldn't get them to get closer on the line of scrimmage when it's 3rd and 7, but you got them 9 yards off the line. That's bad coaching. That's bad alignment. That's not putting your players in the best position to be successful. So that's on coaching. Those are the type of things that you criticize them for, and I'm going to call it out every time. I cannot stand it, right? But I'm going to land there. Y'all go ahead and take off from there.
Finsanity, if you want to go, you can go. Oh, you want me to go? Well, okay, I'll go. I think it's funny when we pose questions. Are we gonna overreact to this loss? No, I'm not overreacting when I speak. I'm gonna speak for me because I knew this team was gonna be trash. I've been telling y'all this team was gonna be trash. You know what I think is the overreaction of the people that think this team was gonna be good? That's the overreaction. I don't know if y'all been listening to what Tone has been going to the 9 or 10 joint practices and the 2 joint practices or whatever and actually having film. And I know what everybody said. Oh, it's second and third teams. You brought in Jalen Tolbert to be a first teamer. That's what you brought him in for. So now, because he's not performing, now he's a 3rd or 4th string? No, you brought him in to be a starter, though. That was a legitimate starting guy you went and brought in. He's been terrible. You brought in Tutu Atwell, not to be a 3rd or 4th guy. You brought him in to be a starter, a contributor. He's been terrible. I'm seeing things in the chat where I just want to go back to it real quick. And again, I like to interact with people. Heat Dolphins. Coach Jeff Hafley said he focuses heavily on fundamental technique, discipline, and putting players in the right position to learn rather than just trying to out-scheme opponents. Again, I don't know how y'all feel. We don't sit here and I don't tell Tone what to say. Tone, vice versa. We don't tell Finsanity what to say. And I mean this with all due respect. That has to be some of the dumbest shit I think I've ever heard in my life. Bill Belichick used to out scheme people, right? That's what made the Patriots great. They used to out scheme people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the argument was when Mike McDaniel was here, Tone and Finsanity? Mike McDaniel's terrible of making halftime adjustments. His halftime adjustment would be trying to out-scheme your opponent because you've seen something that obviously is hindering you probably in the first half, correct?
Yes.
For a coach to sit here and not believe that you have to outcoach, and again, if this is true, if that's what Hafley's saying, I disagree with that approach. You're not going to win many games like that. You could teach fundamentals. That's great. You can have a very disciplined football team. That's great. You can even put people in position to play. That's great. You have to out scheme the other team. You have to. All that other stuff is cool. You have to out scheme the other team, right? And let's go to the point of you got to put people in the right position to learn. Didn't Tone just tell you it's 39 or 37? We got our guys 9 yards on off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Is that putting players in the right position? So not only ain't Halfley doing anything so far, according to what people are saying, he's not trying to out scheme people. He's not even putting players in the right position to be successful. So what the hell is Coach Halfley doing? At the end of the day, we know what it is when the second, third, fourth guy, the four stringers are in there. But I agree with what Tone was saying. Well, all of us have been saying it. In the preseason, you think the Dolphins are the only vanilla team? You think the Dolphins are the only team playing second and third and fourth stringer? Why is it that when we face second and third and fourth stringer, ours look worse than theirs? Jalen Tolbert, Tone and Finsanity, and Tutu Atwell were both playing in the game in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You mean Tutu Atwell, the same guy he's a 12-year veteran in the league. He's played in this league 12 years. You mean to tell me he can't get open against fifth stringers? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you want me to believe? A guy that has been able to have some level of success in the NFL, now all of a sudden he can't beat fifth stringers? I don't know what it is, but this team is not good. It's not good at all. And that goes from the first string all the way down. It just is what it is. I haven't seen much, and especially from a developing of the area as well. Again, I'm not trying to kill Halfley, and I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to come out here and say he's a bad coach, this, that, and the third. I would say he has to do a better job, though. Oh, I appreciate it. Cookie, this is Lori. Shout out to Lori. Again, this is my wife's co-worker. Salute to you. Tone and Finsanity. Lori has, from what my wife told me, came over here, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. So, Lori, welcome to the family. I appreciate you.
We all appreciate you. You done with yours, Lou? Is on Finsanity? Oh.
Yeah. I'm done. This team is terrible.
Okay. Okay. All right. So a big part of my point has to deal with the next topic. So I don't want to harp on that too much, right? But let's be real, okay? I was a little bit more prepared, even though it felt long. I remember us saying, like, it's only the end of the first quarter, right? We knew what to expect. I think Tony has been very transparent with us about not only the turnovers on the second team, the inability to move the ball, the inability to just play defense. He would tell us that, guys didn't look like they knew what they were doing when they were out there, their assignments. So I think what we saw was the talent disparity. I don't think people were ready to see, going from the game against the Commanders, our guys being able to just move the ball down the field. And then, was it really that good by Cam Miller, or was Quinn Ewers really just that bad that day, right? So when Cam goes out there and plays the way that he did, trying to be, respectful of these men and their talents, teams, they have families, it was a rough day all around, right? I'm not sure if we got an update on Ollie yet or Trey Moore. That's what I was, hoping to get some news around. And to me, that was more like the biggest thing that I took away from the preseason game. Oh, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
So Ollie is fine. He was clear to go back in that game.
Okay.
They just held him out. Trey Moore looked like it's week to week. He's week to week. So he couldn't give a definite how long, but he said he's going to be week to week. So he's going to miss some time.
But it's not season ending.
He said he couldn't tell you how long.
Okay.
But I don't think it's season ending.
Okay. We will see, because eventually they're going to have to put him on the pup. We're going to make a decision on that part, right? Coming up when we do the 53-man roster and all that type of stuff. But I understand the outrage, and I want to say that the outrage definitely stemmed from, being at Hard Rock, expecting a certain product, not getting that. But when we understood, that it was going to be our second and our third stringers, I kind of was like, okay, buckle in. And I think I even made the jab like this is for the 53-man roster. Like I'm just really like trying to see who I can pencil in versus who I couldn't pencil in and stuff. And I'll be honest, there weren't too many names that I really had to say, oh, I want to pencil in this guy, right? Like none of us, we'll get into these topics, but I just have one question because I know Tone, you went back and you watched the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I thought you said, I'm sorry. Yes, no, please. I appreciate that. Just clarify. No, I'm not taking another jab right now. I'm gonna focus on the show.
Is it okay if I say, you know what? Go ahead.
Listen, I'm trying to stay zoned. Okay, when you went back and you watched the game, right? Uh, who would you say was maybe the most disappointing person to watch in the film, or maybe even was it the offense that was more disappointing, or the defense? Like, whichever way you want to go with it.
It was just all around. There wasn't one more disappointing than the other. There is, I wouldn't narrow it down to any specific who was more disappointed. I just think I was more disappointed in the lack of execution.
Yeah.
More disappointed of our inability to make plays on an individual standpoint. Like my player beat your player. I'll give you one play in specific, right? There was a run play. Mm-hmm. And me, Lou, we said this the time when how we like our players and our defenders to attack, right? Remember we had that big disagreement of who should come, how far they should be to the line, and I believe we all agreed though we still want them attacking though.
Absolutely.
Whether you feel like how far they should be off the line. There was this one play where Kyle Lewis, Jacob Rodriguez. Was it Jacob? No. I think it was Kyle Lewis and the other linebacker, 42, the one who had a pretty okay game. Woodard. Yeah, that's his name, Woodard. There was a run play. Kyle Lewis clearly sees an open lane. And instead of attacking him, he waited until the running back got the handoff, and then he tried to attack. And by that time, it gave the tackle, or the center, an opportunity to get off his initial block and get to him, right? But if he soon as he just attack it, because he waited to see if it was a play action before he attacked it. And this is just common instincts, coaching, whatever you want to call it. If you attack him and there's a play action, you can tackle him in the backfield. Mm-hmm. Literally, he had a clean lane. Tackle him in the backfield. You're going to make a play regardless. These are natural instinctive plays that I think if they put that on film, it's like, this is why you don't hesitate. You just attack. Go downfield and make something happen. We saw the difference in night and day in how our linebackers played last season, from the beginning when they was giving up all the rushing yards to the end when it seemed like, okay, now they're not giving up as many rushing yards as they used to because they was in attack mode. And that's the difference between attacking and reacting. And it turned a probably negative 2 to 3 yard to, I think the running back gained like 7 to 8 yards. Come on. That's the 11 to 12 yard difference. And those are the type of things that showed up. That had nothing to do with scheming. That literally go make a play. This, but I just wanted to point that out so you can see it was disappointing all over. You understand? But because Kyle Lewis is one of the ones I was going to pay attention to, I saw that and I was like, okay, this is something that I can address and say, no, my brother, you need to be better at that. So.
Okay. All right. So I want to get to the topic that I want to talk about. And it was something that we were all very passionate about before the game. And just hearing how you talked about the film, and we understand that naturally as starters with Jordan Brooks, we have an attacking linebacker, right? Attacking Mike. Lewis, how do you feel about Hafley making a decision to sit most of our starters in our second preseason game? Like, oh, geez.
Finsanity, I completely disagree with Coach Hafley. If let's say Brooks wasn't injured or dealing with some things, and you want to sit him out, Finsanity, the guy I believe 2 years ago was number 2 in tackles. I believe last year he led the league in tackles. I'm good with that. I know what Jordan Brooks is bringing to this football team.
Fair.
If you tell me Devon Achane is sitting out, cool. You know what? I don't need to see no more Devon A-Chain. I think I got a pretty good idea of what A-Chain's going to give me this season from his first three. Outside of that, who else has deserved or should we not be playing? Again, I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings here. And again, I want to clarify. I've made the point. I think Malik is going to be really, really good when I talk about Malik Willis. He's a career backup, though. He's played 14 snaps in the preseason. You mean to tell me he couldn't get more reps? I don't understand why Caden Proctor even dressed, right? He played 3 plays. You mean to tell me our first-round rookie has done enough already in training camp? And again, go back to the film Tony watched. He highlighted how great Patrick Paul looked. Well, I don't want to say great, but from what people were saying, how he looked in the joint practice, Tone had the video. It wasn't really Patrick Paul, but that right side, right, was getting lit up. Did any of those guys on the right side play?
Nope.
Even on the left side with Caden Proctor, like I was saying, he didn't play that well against the Giants in the joint practice. He did enough to warrant him not playing.
No.
I don't understand what Hafley's approach is in this scenario. Again, we've watched. Tone makes the point all the time about the Cincinnati Bengals, and realistically, it's even worse when I explain it like this. Joe Burrow, you could argue, has legitimate injury concerns, right? He plays in the preseason. Tom Brady and a team that was winning Super Bowls in this division consistently. You know what he did? Play in the playoffs
Preseason.
or in the preseason. My bad, Tom. Finsanity. Baker Mayfield just played. A lot of starters just played. Like, I just don't understand. First-time head coach, first-time general manager, this young football team. I don't understand why we're not giving them as many reps as we need. And I know because I've heard it all day today. And, well, they got the majority of the reps in practice. Cool. I don't care what you try to do in a simulated practice is what it is. It's a controlled environment. You're never going to get the game speed and the reps that you can get even in a preseason game because at least it's still football, right? In those joint simulated practice, there's a lot of time. I mean, Tone showed you. A-Chain's run, they would tap him down instead of getting tackled. But in a preseason game, he would get tackled. Or our guys would have to make tackles. You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense. So to answer your question, Finsanity, no. I don't like the approach. I wish we would have played our starters. And now it kind of gives, because I heard Tony bring it up in the space earlier. If they don't play, let's say, in the last preseason game, that would be week 2 of the preseason, week 3 of the preseason, the week before the season. You're virtually not giving those guys any like real game time reps in about 3.5 weeks. Is what you're doing. Do y'all think that sounds like a team that's gonna be ready week 1?
No.
Fully prepared week 1? I thought training camp was to get guys as close to play ready as you could possibly get. I'm gonna end it there. Y'all tell me if what y'all seen on one drive from our starters, 14 plays, if you think they're game ready.
Yeah, because if no, and if they don't, our first game is what? What date is it?
September 13th, I believe.
The 13th. That's literally a month. Because the last game they played in was on the 14th. So I do believe that they're going to get some playing time week 3. If they don't get game time week 3, I'm gonna lose blow a head gasket. I'm sorry. Again, calling Hafley out. I'm sorry. Y'all know we have to do it. And I've always been here pointing out all of the great things that he's been doing and why I'm still standing on my 9 or 10 wins, right? But this is something that I think is going to be a learning experience from a coach this your first year as an NFL head coach. I understand college, but as an NFL head coach, at what point, right, do you think they're going to be fully ready to run your schemes? Do you think that 1 week leading up to the opening game, they're going to get those schemes down pat? Right? And even if you're doing it doing walkthroughs and getting them to understand what they should be doing, there's no way you're going to tell me that they're going to know exactly how to run that scheme, whatever it is, on offense or defense, in live games, because we all know it's different than when you're running in an air and you're running against players, because you get bumped off routes. You have something for Sydney?
No, I'm just
Okay.
agreeing.
Okay, you get bumped off routes. You got different coverages. What are they looking for? Like, you can simulate whatever you think the coverages are going to be, but that's not what the other defenses are looking at. Give them opportunity to see plays, see different looks, understand, right? The same thing for the offense. Offense, you can simulate what you think the other defense is going to run, but you still have to see them execute. I think Lou said the perfect thing when we watched the very first preseason game with the Washington Commanders versus us, and he was like, even though it was majority second teams, I love the execution of what they done. You understand? That's the difference. So as a coach, I'm like, well, you're saying it's not all about scheming, but when you going to start figuring out if they can run your scheme? And when are they going to understand and get the feel of, oh, I need to be here on this play instead of here? Trial and error. That's what the offseason is for. So I'm sorry, that's not keeping the same energy when it comes to that standpoint, because I think you're like, now it comes to the point of what you're over teaching and not allowing them to go out there and execute. Cool, teaching is good, but they got to execute it on the field. You talking about it's all about seeing what guys could do one-on-one. We saw that all practice. You had 2 joint practices. Now, understanding what their weaknesses are, when are you going to start to say, well, with him and these guys here, I have to scheme it this way to protect them and put them in the best position to succeed, and let's see how they react to it. You have to have that type of mindset before you go into week 1. Because now it's going to be that, okay, now you're learning, your first time running these schemes in week 1, and you're looking bad. And then before you know it, with that schedule, you have most teams that's been together for the longest. With the schedule we running, they're not learning nothing. They're adding nuances to the schemes. They're adding little wrinkles to their schemes. You understand? So we have to come from that standpoint and say, hey, coach, when it's not enough, too little. Like, when is it that we should be concerned that you're like, okay, I'm not scheming people. I just want to see if what they can do individually. Okay. I hope you're running every play should be a scheme then next week, right? Because you're going to have week 3 to practice a scheme, and you're going to have that week after to practice that scheme before you get into your first game. That's all I'm saying. So that's the from the standpoint what I'm looking at happening and saying, hey, it's time to ramp it up and get them in game mode, get them in actual running your defense and the offense running your offense mode, so you can build that chemistry and that timing and that camaraderie. That's all I'm saying. I told you, practice don't make perfect. Perfect practice make perfect. So if they're not practicing scheme, how do you think them? How you expect them to run their scheme first week of the season? Oh, we're gonna run our scheme. Like, come on, bro. That makes no sense. And as far as the playing time, I understand that there's a lot of guys that went tough, and it was a tough, hard-fought joint practice. But you know who was in that tough, hard-fought joint practice? Excuse me, Jacob Rodriguez, Caden Proctor, Caleb Douglas, Malik Washington, Jaden Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, Kyle Lewis. All of them played significant snaps, except for Caden Proctor, in the game. So if it's all about not overworking your players, you're not worried about overworking Caleb Douglas? You're not worried about overworking Jacob Rodriguez? Because I think I told y'all Jacob Rodriguez had 9 plays. You telling me Austin Jackson couldn't afford 9 plays? You telling me Caden Proctor couldn't afford 9 plays? You're not gonna tell me Jonah? After watch Jonah hit his behind whooped by that D tackle all joint practice, you're gonna tell me he didn't need to play in that preseason game, no, you're not. I'm not going to let you convince me in that because I'm starting to have a little bit of concern if not giving them or maximize all of your potential time that you have with them. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta maximize it because I'm here telling you I see a world where we could win 9 or 10 games, but we have to almost be perfect and make sure no injuries come in. Everyone is executing at a high level. That means they need to go out there and continue to get reps. So with the starters not playing, at first I was like, yeah, I understand. He got all they wanted out of him. And if that's how you're going to run it, cool. But you can't tell me that and then I see these players playing and then these players aren't. So, no, that's what I had about that, Sandy.
Yeah, I understand Halfley's OCD-ness when it comes to fundamentals discipline, right? Those are good foundational things to build your team on, right? But I think it's to your point, Tony, like you have to in order to know if your team can do it, you have to give them the opportunity to go out there and do it. Like these are critiques that you make, like at least get it on film and be like, okay, right here, this is what I need to coach you on, and this is what I need to change you up. I do think though, and I'm not trying to be devil's advocate because I am 100% upset that our starters did not play. I want this to be reiterated before I say this next point. And Tone, I know you're going to kill me for it, but I'm going to say it. You're going to kill me, and we will still be cool after this, okay? Halfley, you can't be so afraid of potentially them getting hurt in that preseason game that you don't put them out there. And if that was what put you in quicksand, because from what we saw, and we're not going to say Halfley is not without, some type of evaluation. They literally picked someone up during halftime and we talk about it. But it's true. They realize that the players right now just ain't it. And maybe, I'm just saying maybe, I'm not saying this is true, so Tone, don't kill it. I'm not saying it's true or not. But trying not to expose them to real game situation because you may be like, hey, I need to get this team in the season as healthy as possible. I don't think necessarily that's the route to go right now with such a young team and a team that does need reps and does need to be out there building chemistry together, going on the road, actually, because you're going to be on the road week 1. Like, we whatever. I don't care. But Malik, like, have you seen so much in Malik that you don't feel like you need to see anymore? Do you feel like he has this down pat? Like, do you think that the wide receivers that we have are going to be good? Are you banking on Chris Bell being able to be on the field to negate some of the problems we have? Or is it that you are just all chips in on HN so much that you're like, you know what? Let's just protect this, do what we have to do, get HN the ball, and simplify it that much. I don't know because we haven't been able to see it. We can only go off of what you have said. But no matter what, no matter how you slice it, right? They need to be on that field. They need to be on that field. And I remember, like, when we were talking on the previous show that Friday, we were talking, I mean, Lou and I were on the path of they should play at least a half. And I know Tony was like, listen, if their starters are playing them, play them as long as the starters play, I believe. Tone, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Or even if not, if their starters aren't playing, at least let them get 1 to 2 drives.
Yes,
correct?
Exactly.
Okay. See, I try to go back and, attentively listen to you. So the fact that we did not get any of that, the fact that we are now staring down the possibility, to Tone's point, that you guys have not seen the field as a team in real game action for a month, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, it really would be an uproar if that happened. But if it happens, you're not as confident going into Las Vegas. You're really not, because the only thing that they have seen is these joint practices, which, you said have gone hard. They've been real physical, real intense, which I do appreciate that, right? Appreciate the Giants coming down and saying, you know what, we're not doing walkthroughs. We're really going to try to see where you guys are at. And I think that gives a better evaluation when both teams are going into a joint practice and really trying to go at each other without showing too much, obviously. But At this point, right now, I'm still a Halfley and Sully, girl, but woman, but I don't want. Don't do it. I'm trying. See, you did it.
Go
You did
ahead. Go ahead. Go
it.
ahead.
You
Go,
did
go,
it.
go, go.
You did it. Okay. Um,
That's crazy. The pronouns are crazy.
that's not even a pronoun. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he did
That's
use
I
not
it.
felt the pronoun coming though, is what I'm
Already
saying.
did.
stop. We're here to have a great show. It's a great show though. I think that you are now forcing your hand to have these guys play against Atlanta. And if they don't play, there's going to be a lot of questions about your philosophy. And it can't just be the rhetoric of we're trying to, coach fundamentals and technique. That's great. We don't know. We don't know if they're going to be able to do it in a game. Like anyone can hit the bag. Anyone can hit the dummy. You got to go up against another human and see how you're going to react in that real time. So, with that being said, Half, I'm still on your team, but please play the guys next game. Like, do not be that guy. Do not give us anything to criticize you for even more. Tone, Lou, do you guys have anything else on the starters playing time?
Me no.
Lou?
Yeah, I do. The simple fact that we got to try to base our team, and I'm not saying y'all specifically. I'm just saying in general. If we're basing on what we do as an organization, what other teams are doing in other organizations, that's flawed. I don't care if the Giants are playing. Like the Commanders didn't really play none of their starters, but we did. So how are we going to come out the next week and be like, well, the Giants don't play their starter, we're just not going to play ours? Like, I, didn't Halfley and Sully say they were the kind of guys that they liked it to be physical and hard and this? I don't think I can find a harder situation than having a joint practice again for an hour and a half, mind you. And then 48 hours later, we say, well, y'all just played an hour and a half of hard. We can't play you. I don't understand a world like we live in like that if that's the mindset. I get what Tone's saying. Yeah, I'm not saying the joint practice wasn't hard. What does that mean 48 hours later? You can't play?
But he
You
stuck to his word.
uh, uh,
Technically.
well again, you can
Good
stick to
point.
your word, but if your word is wrong though,
Okay. That could be fair.
it just is what it is. Like I hear that a lot. I said it. What does that mean? That don't make you right because you said it. How many times do we say things up here and people, well, Lewis, you're wrong. Okay, cool. I could turn around and say, well, I said it though. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear, well, that's what Heffley said. Hey, it's the wrong approach.
No, I'm not saying it's the right approach, but I'm saying like he forewarned us about this. I think before even the first joint practice, he talked about it.
Yes.
So, like to me, it wasn't that much of a shock that he then did not play his starters. But was it the right decision? No. We can all say like, okay, we don't feel like it was the right decision, but he did forewarn us. You
What
understand?
what
What I'm
what
not.
what,
I'm
what,
not.
I wouldn't say that.
what was the point?
Okay.
What was the point of playing the starter against the Commanders then?
Maybe the practice wasn't as vigorous. I would have to talk to someone who was there. As
Yeah,
it was
because he
with the
said,
Giants.
yeah, because remember, he said it was based on how many reps they get as starters. And I wouldn't say, now, let me speak for myself. I didn't say whether I felt like it's wrong or right.
Mm-hmm.
I just gave an opinion of why I felt like and what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the starters because this is the first time head coach, first time offensive coordinator for this team, first time GM. Half of these, this Malik with his first time as a full-time starter, his first time, in this offense. The most rookies, I think, in the league. Like, it's a lot of things that you need, that they need more reps than your traditional team.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm looking at it. But to say that it's the right or wrong thing, I would just say, my opinion, I would like for them to see it. But maybe the way he's taking the approach, he feel like it's the right way to go by it. The only thing that I am really concerned about is not even in the joint practices, scheming some stuff up to see how they react and how they play it. That's my biggest issue. If you did that in joint practices and take this, this middle game off, I would have still been like, man, I prefer to see, like for instance, like you say, I prefer to see two series, regardless. But if the Giants are playing their starters all the way into the halftime, play your starters all the way to halftime. They give them some reps. You understand? But
Right.
that's my approach from it.
And I think we're all on the same approach. We in the first segment I talked about the scheming and us not like him not getting our players prepared. But if we're arguing, if the argument is going to be, well, and I'm not saying you said this, Vincent, but when you well you did. I'm not saying, but you pointed out what Halfley said about not playing the starters. That's what he said. Well, then we not be concerned? And I'm not talking to us, but when Tone says his biggest concern moving forward is, or even now, up to date, is we're not scheming people. Well, but Halfley said that as well. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Halfley said that, but I think it's fair to criticize again, not kill him,
Yeah.
right? I don't think none of us are saying Halfley should be fired.
Oh no.
But there are things, I just think people love it when we highlight all the good that this organization does, or a certain coach or a certain player. But as soon as we bring up any kind of criticism, right, or concern, now it's a problem. Like, no, we should be able to evaluate this team. And all I'm saying is there's certain things that I've liked that Halfley has done from day one. And I salute him for that. I appreciate what he's done. In these two scenarios, though, and even going back to the other day when the Giants in the joint practice, there was ended up fighting. I don't want my team to start the fight. I want my team to finish the fight, though. You see what I'm saying? And that, so I don't care really. I hate when the arguments are, well, that's what Halfley said. Okay, cool. Those are conversation enders, right? Me and Tone and Finsanity ain't up here to tell you what Halfley said. Y'all already know what Halfley said. You're here to listen to what me and Tone and Finsanity say. That's why you're here. And I'm just saying, for me, and again, I'll end it. I don't like the version of what we're getting now. No scheming, no playing, no reps, no nothing. It's just I don't appreciate that approach. I'm sorry. I think it's the wrong approach to have. Is all I'm saying.
I'll end it with this. You want to respond for
No,
something?
no, go ahead. No, no, no.
I'll end it with this. If they go in there and they play like 1 or 2 series in the Falcons game, then I'm not going. Then my whole standpoint changed, because if they would have played the 1 or 2 series here, I'd be like, if you don't want to play them in the third preseason game and get all of the reps that you want into the second, third, I would have suspected that, because you need to see who's going to make the 53-man roster. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying I'm not going to say whether it's right or wrong. I'm just tell you what I would prefer to have seen. But if they go out and play 2 series against the Falcons, and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, this is where they got their work in, and you got the most of your evaluation on the second, third team people, then that's cool for me. That's the only reason why I'm saying I'm not going to say if it's right or wrong for me. But yeah, you're well within your right to say, no, I think that's wrong. And that's the wrong approach. Just like I felt like it's the wrong approach to not call out or not scheme anything up yet.
Yeah. And I think, we got to see what his game plan is for this, whole off season, right? He might have said, you know what, you guys are going to take this week off so you can do week 3, just so that you have less time off of playing football going into week 1 and going into Vegas. We'll see how that all shakes out, though. It's going to be very interesting. But one thing we did see, and it's something that has shook the core of the Miami Dolphin fan base, is that this team ain't got no depth. I heard Lou say something funny early in the space. I'm not going to steal his, shine, because he might say it again. But Lou, you got to see what the team looks like if someone goes down. And what are your thoughts on this team's lack of depth? And just where do we go from here, if there's anywhere to go?
We're going to the first pick in the NFL draft. That's where we're going. Specifically, if Malik Willis is out for any significant point of time, the two backups are terrible. Quinn Ewers has been terrible. What's the other kid's name? Miller or whatever.
Cam
Yeah,
Miller,
Cam Miller, and
Gronkowski,
Mark Gronowski.
Gronowski.
Gronowski already got one cut one time. They had to bring him back because the other two were so bad. Look, it's we knew what this is coming. This is where I don't give Halfley any blame or Sully any blame because with the decisions that they had to make over the offseason, cutting so many players, releasing so many players, eating so much dead cap, we knew they were going to be hamstrung. Um, they just got a bunch of people that can't compete, right? You look at some of the like take the Giants for instance. Their backup is Jameis Winston,
Mm.
a guy that has been a legitimate starter in this league, has thrown 30 plus touchdowns in this league. I
Mm-hmm.
think almost got close to 5,000 yards in
5,000
this
yards.
league.
Threw for 5,000.
He threw.
Threw for 5,000 tone for insanity, right? That's a backup that in a pinch in 6 games could Jameis go 3-3?
Yes.
Sure he could, right? If in the Dolphin scenario, we're going 0-6. You can see that,
Mm.
right? So it's just from a depth standpoint, it's not good. And this is what I'm trying to get people to understand, Tone and Insanity, because I hear a lot of people say, "Well, just cut this guy and cut this guy." Who do you got behind them that you're bringing in? Like I don't know when people left this game and all you hear is, well, it's the preseason and all we did is play 2s and 3s. Do y'all realize that a lot of those 2 and 3s are probably going to have to be either starters for this team or contribute a lot this season? Y'all do realize that, right? We have 41 players again on 1-year deals. Coach Halfley also said, since we're quoting what Halfley said, Coach said out of those 41, you hope to find 4 or 5 guys that can play.
Yeah.
He knows the writing on the wall. He knows what this team is. That's why I think Tone makes a great point when he's talking about scheming and executing. Because you know how you kind of beat when you have a deficient team, how you can compete with other teams? You got to out scheme them. That's what you got to do when you have the lesser talent. But Finsanity, look, I believe this team is going to be picking in the top 5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I just believe this is going to be a tough-minded football team. They're probably going to keep it close in majority of games. But ultimately, you're seeing it, right? And especially if the conversation is already, well, 2 days and they practiced hard. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Let's in a 4-quarter game when people are running as fast as they can and getting tackled and trying to make plays here and there on the football field, you eventually get tired. And we don't have enough horses in the stable to compete with most teams. So listen, it's gonna be a long season. I'll end it here though. Again, y'all know if Malik doesn't play a full 17, let's say Malik plays 12, and I'm knocking on wood, God forbid. You will be hearing with the first pick the Miami Dolphins select. You will hear that. It's coming. But yeah, we know there's no depth on this team. It just is what it is. They're terrible across the board, mind you.
Okay. And you know what? With the depth, and I tend to agree with a lot of it, right? But I'm gonna take it from this approach. Lou said, I'm not gonna put this on Jeff Hafley because of the decisions they had to make. Cutting, the quarterback is what it is, 51 this year and 48 next year, whatever we having to pay him. Basically handcuffing this franchise with the amount of acquisitions that we could have made with the lack of cap situation, cap equity. But this is what I wanted to say that we can blame on him. With that money, can somebody tell me what Jack Jones and Russell Douglas got? We couldn't afford them.
Mm.
You could have went and got them. But no, you traded up to go get Chris Johnson. You relied on Juju Brents, who has never stayed healthy, ever. And Jason Marshall Jr. and Marco Wilson Jr.
Tone, I know you ain't gonna like the name I bring up, and I'm not trying to cut you off, but Cater Kohu signed for $1.4 million.
Cater Kohu, at that point, like for real, Cater Kohu. Now remember, my biggest issue was, I think what I had. Keontae Scott is going to be better than Katie Cole as a rookie. But don't tell me that I'd rather see Jason Marshall, Marco Wilson Jr. than Katie Cole and put Chris Johnson outside on the boundary. Put Cole in the slot, which that's what we were using him at, what we was, prepping him for, and use Chris Johnson in the outside. And I think we're way more comfortable and we'll have way more confidence in this secondary if that was the move. Now, so that's what I'm saying when we say, and just in general, I'm not going to put this on Hafley. Well, there's some things we can put on him because we've been asking for Jack Jones and Rasul Douglas for a while. Now, I don't know if maybe they wasn't a scheme fit or whatever it is. The players that we have don't look like they're a scheme fit. So they can't do any worse than what we see. You understand? So from that standpoint, no, we could have made, some different little changes in who you bring in. Because we brought in Marco Wilson Jr. He wasn't here. We brought him in. And that's the thing. Like the linebackers, I'm not going to kill them. It's really the secondary. Because I think I'm going to speak for myself, but I think we can agree on this. If we had Rasul Douglas and Jack Jones, along with Chris Johnson, Dante Traylor Jr., and, Lonnie Johnson, okay, the safeties are not the toughest. But if we had those three cornerbacks, we have a lot more confidence in this defense, especially seeing how the linebackers are looking. This looks like a defense that could go in and compete. So, yeah, I'm going to put that on. Listen, I got to keep the same energy. Y'all know me. I was a big Sully guy. I'm a big Hafley guy. Do things your way. But I've always said it's not going to stop me from criticizing them when they do something that I think they could have done better with. Mm-hmm. Now, when the season starts, let's see how Jack Jones panned out. Let's see how Rasul Douglas panned out. But we saw how they panned out on our team. We saw that.
Yeah.
And what we talk about? Just talk to me about how they performed in our uniforms. So I think the depth issue when it comes to the defense, that's the part that I'm going to put on them. Everything else with the limited resources and things of that nature, cool. I'm not going to kill you for it. But when you're limited, you got to hit on the ones that you can afford. That's all I'm saying. And it begs the question if they even reached out to them for them to sign for those minimum contracts. So I'll leave it there.
Okay. Lou, you made a very interesting point. You said that, me knocking on wood, if something were to happen to our starting quarterback, it would be, we're on to 2027. But there's also the point of, you said it's across the board. So specifically about quarterback, is there any way, like once teams make cuts, that we can maybe go out and get someone? Let's leave it there. I want to say something, but go ahead, Lou.
Well, yeah, you can go get other guys, but you're picking up again. You're not getting Josh Allen, right? It's like you're not picking up Patrick Mahomes on the waiver wire. What I'm saying is I've heard some names, right? And even though I'm high on Taylor Green, and I would absolutely bring Taylor Green in because I think from a scheme standpoint, he fits more of what they're trying to do, especially if you're trying to emulate what Malik Willis can do. A guy like Taylor Green fits more than a Quinn Ewers or even a Cam Miller. But Cam Miller, he has some attributes like that, but he just, again, he's not as talented. Gronowski is not as talented, right? But even if you brought in a Taylor Green, he's a rookie. It's an unknown. You don't know what you're bringing in here. So how much better is he going to be than Quinn Ewers and Cam Miller would be my question, right? Not saying he can't be better, but how much better? Is it marginally better? All I'm saying is when I hear that question for Insanity, yeah, they could bring someone in. Again, another guy, Will Howard. Will Howard was a rookie last year. Didn't see the field, right? Like, how much better can he be? I think when I hear people say about the quarterbacks and, oh, we'll just bring someone else in, Okay, I mean that's fine. Again, I'm with it. I'm willing to do that at across the board, any position you want. I just pump the brakes though with people that think whoever you bring in is going to be so much better. Is all I'm saying. You're not. Again, the point is you're not bringing in a guy. You're not bringing even a Jameis Winston. Look at the names that's probably going to get cut. You bringing one of those in? Probably not. So, and at this point, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be willing to do it. I just don't see like again if because if I'm gonna make the point about being marginally better, why even do it? What I mean, I'll ask y'all this, and I'll end here. I'll ask y'all, Orphan Cindy. I'll ask you. You ask me a question, I'll ask you. If you brought in a guy and that guy could win you 3 games, 4 games, but it knocked you out of, let's say, the top 5 pick or whatever. Would you sign up for that? Like if I told you Malik went down and Quinn Ewers is gonna win you 2 games and another guy's gonna come in and he's gonna win you 4 games, and now let's say you're at 6 games, but you're not picking in the top 5. Would you sign up for that? Or would you rather have Quinn for the win to get you 2?
It's a great question. Okay. That's a trick question. Listen, as I'm gonna just stand on my square where I have always been, right? I've been on to 2027, right? For me, though, this year is primarily trying to see how Malik looks, right? Do I trust him being my quarterback going forward, right? I know what I'm getting in HN. I understand that if Malik is the guy, we can then surround him with, better weapons and fill in some other holes on this team, right? Like, it is my heart's desire that Malik goes out there and shows that he will be the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. However, if he does not show that, I've always been of the mindset you have the perfect backup right there. He's someone who knows how to, do that job. He's good at mentoring. He's good with leadership, and he would be great to have another year while your rookie and your incumbent is coming in and learning and sitting behind him, right? So if that is my mindset, I would then have to say, give me the guy who's not going to win more games, because I would rather be in a better position to get either a top weapon to help, whether it be on the defensive side or the offensive side, whatever, Halfley and Sully decide based off of the draft and the players, right? Then to just be, another team picking in the, like, just before 10 or in that area, like in the mid, like somewhere between, I guess, 9 and 15. Like, at the end of the day, pick a side. But if Malik goes out there and plays well, I'm not upset about that. I want that to be very much known. But if it's coming down to him not playing the whole season, which I don't expect to happen, I think he will play. This whole season to me is really just about how he goes out there and shows the fan base either he's that guy or he's not, and also how Heffley navigates this as the head coach. So, and that's only because I don't expect this team to be, as good as, some other people who expect them, to have a lot more wins. Like I said, I'm under 4, so that puts us in the top 3 pick, right? So I'm not going to change my stance, and that's why my point is based off of that.
Well, the best thing for us, and Tone, I want you to go, but the best thing for, again, and at least in my opinion, is for Malik to play well, for us to lead this season and be like, you know what, we can build around Malik. I feel comfortable enough, at least for, because whether we draft whoever or not, he's going to be here for next year, 2027. He's going to be here. But I would much rather, whether you want to go get the top 2 pass rushers in draft, cool. Right, to your point. If you want to go get a Cam Coleman or a Jeremiah Smith, another weapon for him, cool. But that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to get out of that top 5 at any scenario, right? Whether we got to get a quarterback or a positional player to help this team overall. To your point, though, Finsanity, and Tone, you can go right after this. I just don't want to be where we've been in the constant 12 to 18 range, mediocre. This team got 6 wins and 7 wins, and now what does it really mean? Like 6 or 7 wins, you're not a playoff team. Everybody's still looking at you as a joke franchise, but now you're picking somewhere mid-draft, and it's really for what?
But like, there's another side to that too, right? Because if a team like Miami, who is not expected to, win that many games, goes out there and exceeds, right? It does change the spotlight and the conversation around them. They can then say, hold up, wait a minute, what are they doing down there, right? And if you have a guy like Malik, to your point, that is showing that he can, produce and he can be that guy, you're opening yourself up to other possibilities. Maybe even other players saying, hold up, what's going on down there in Miami, right? It changes the narrative and it changes the conversation. And it might even put eyes on us in a way where some other players, whereas before, like, they frowned at us and just looked at Miami as a team like they didn't really want to be on. It might be like, hold up, a vet might come and say, you know what? I like what they're doing. Let me go down there with a team that is now doing it a correct way, a better way, right? If this team, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I don't expect them to, but if this team underneath Malik Willis goes out there and competes and shows that, like, hey man, we're turning a corner and we're heading in the right direction, oh man, like, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, because that means that my team is going to be competitive. I don't want a team where at the end of the season, yeah, we're picking 8th or 9th. If we're picking 8th and 9th because, man, listen, we gave some real good fights out there, and it's like, man, like, the ball didn't go our way that time, I'm not going to be upset. Sometimes it just goes that way, and sometimes it will go our way, right? But it's about how this team is going to look. And I would rather put out a really good product than a sorry product. Like, if we are just a team that goes out there and we compete, and just the other team they beat us, but it's not like, oh, BTA, right? That's what you guys say, BTA, right? But you're seeing, oh no, like, there's something different. I mean, that gives you a different feel. If we're picking in the top 3 because we were just, or top 5, you said top 5, just because we were god awful, that pick is going to be like, okay, we still have so much more work to do. I would rather it be where, even if we're picking there, it's not where we feel like this burden of, oh my gosh, we have so much to do, this team still isn't there, and we're picking here because they just weren't good enough, they weren't competitive enough. Whatever excuse that you can try to give, but I do believe that, for what it's worth, Malik will shock a lot of people, and I think that's something that I've always harped on. Like, he is going to shock a lot of people, and he's going to have a lot of people that are going to be behind him. Would it be aggravating to be picking in the middle of the draft? Absolutely. But we have to see, and we have to evaluate this whole team in totality. It's going to be very interesting to see how Devon, and you know what? Let me not even just put on Devon, how Slowick gets this offense going, and how Halfley gets this defense, to compete. Because, for what it's worth, it's not like our team is without talented players. We have talented players on this team. It's about them putting it on the field each and every week, staying healthy, and going out there and performing. Like, I'm not trying to talk myself into over 4.5, but I do believe that this team has the true ability to go out there and give a lot of these teams a run for the money. Like, we're not going out there with a bunch of scrubs. We do have interior linemen who we know can make plays. We got to see if our edges, can get pressure, right? We have to see what Halfley's scheme is going to look like. But also, we have one of the best weapons in the NFL. We have a quarterback with an arm, and some receivers who have, we'll see what the receivers are, right? But I just want to see how they fight each and every week. And I really do hope, in my heart of hearts, that Malik goes out there and shows us, man, like, you guys can invest in me, and and hopefully, because that would only speak to Sully and Halfley even more about them picking that guy out of the litter, because they could have chalked it up and said, we're going into the 2027 draft and going to get a guy, but they chose this guy. So I hope that they're right about that. That's all I got to say. Sorry for that long rant, Tone. I saw you doing some homework, and I just wanted to,
And I wasn't doing homework on that. I was
Okay.
But so for me,
Mhm.
and this is to answer Lou's question about, do you want to go get that guy, that could get you maybe another 2 wins or a win or 2?
Mhm.
For Jeff Halfley and Eric Sullivan, yes, they better do that. They came in here. They say they come to win. They didn't come in here to tank. They didn't come to lay down. So you have to conduct yourself as if you're trying to win every game. That's part of your evaluation. You're not going to pay Aaron Brewer, Jordan Brooks, Devon Achane, and then come here and tell me that you're not going to do everything you can to win. You didn't sell us on Caleb Douglas as is, oh, we pick him up, but we don't expect him to be productive. That's not what they said. They didn't go get Jacob Rodriguez because they didn't, they saw first round talent in the second round, and they were like, screw that. The person that we were going to pick in the second round, this guy became available, so we going BPA. You can't have that mindset and then turn around and if Malik go down, you don't go get the best quarterback available. What I was looking up was because I remember I was trying to see who was that third quarterback that went in that Patrick Mahomes draft. But y'all do know, because I saw if we're picking 8 through 12, I think it was 2 that's a failure. So let me not think who it is. Let me see if I could go find it. Yeah, it was 8 to 15. I'm sorry. Why? Patrick Mahomes was drafted at 10. Mm-hmm. Y'all know Mitchell Trubisky went before Patrick Mahomes in that draft? Did y'all remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you know who was drafted two selections after Patrick Mahomes in that draft? Deshaun Watson.
Wasn't Josh Allen's pick somewhere around there too?
Josh Allen was picked number 10 or 12 or something like that. That's what I'm saying.
The next year,
right.
Like, so this notion, Josh Allen was in the 2018. Wasn't that Baker Mayfield draft? Let me go look it up. Here we go. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield went first. Sam Darnold went third overall in that draft. With the Buffalo Bills got Josh Allen at 7. So I'm just saying, just because you get the first, Lamar Jackson in that same draft went 32nd overall. So miss me with this. You have to have a top 3 pick to get your franchise quarterback.
I don't think anyone said that.
No,
I wasn't even.
I'm not talking about Tom. I'm talking about in the chat.
In the chat, right?
Yes, in the chat.
Yeah.
So I don't care. They need to win by any means. Yes, if you end up winning 5 to 8 games, okay. That what that means? You're gonna be picking. If you again think about it. If you get 5 games, you still got a top 10 pick.
No, absolutely.
So no, I just, for me, just looking at the head coach and the GM, no, I want a head coach and GM that want to win by any means necessary. Because I do think that we feel like if Brian Flores would have, tanked the right way, we would have been able to get Joe Burrow.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind having Jordan Love though. I wouldn't mind having
absolutely.
Justin Herbert.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So this is all I'm saying. For me, this is my personal opinion. No, I want someone that's out there that's saying I'm here to win by any means. They say I'm a rookie head coach. Who am I to say no? I'm gonna take to go get whatever the best talent in there. You haven't even proved you know what you're doing in the league yet. How we know you're gonna know what you're doing when you get that talent?
Right.
And not mess it up. So it just is from a mindset standpoint. A mindset. No, if I'm gonna preach, I want the players with the right mindset. Then I got to keep the same energy for the coaches and the GM. I think again, we can all agree. We think we for sure think Brian Flores had the right mindset.
Absolutely.
And Jordan Love, Tristan Wirfs, and potential either Justin Jefferson or Jonathan Taylor, that look way better than Tua, Austin Jackson, and Noah Ibrahim.
100%.
Those the guys he wanted. Winning 5 games instead of winning 1. And I think we would have been better off as a franchise for that. So, yeah, I'm just taking that from historically and watching what we've seen and say, no, I want a coach with the mentality, I'm here to win. I'm here to give it all to my football team. And if that means, going to get someone that I think can perform better than, Quinn Ewers, then go do it. Now, if there's no one out there that's available, don't force it. Don't force it. But, yeah, if you think Taylor Green can improve this team, go ahead. And I think Lou, you hit on the head. What he gonna give you? He may give you a win, but he hasn't proven nothing. He's taking minimal snaps over there in Cleveland.
Right.
And the people in front of him here, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson. I mean, nah. So yeah, but and then Will Howard, we see what he's done. He hasn't did nothing last year. This year, I will bring him in. With the tools that he have, the size, I'll take him over Quinn Ewers. But I'm not expecting him to be no difference maker.
Right.
I'm not. But just from a mentality standpoint, yes, go out there. If you think that's what's best for the team, go ahead and make that move and bring them in. Listen, 39 of y'all in the building. Hit the like button. Hit the peace to y'all. Giant salute. Shout out to you, Ace Cool. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Last time I checked, we was, I think 39 away or 35 away from the 1,000 mark. So y'all make sure y'all hit those y'all hitting those like buttons. Make sure y'all subscribing to get us to that 1,000 mark before I'm trying to look it up while I talk to y'all at the same time. But we're trying to get to 1,000 before the start of the season, man. We got another week and a half, right? Or 2 weeks?
Ace just said, I know my coworkers, my wife's
32.
coworker, Laura, she just subbed, and Ace just said he subbed as well. So
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Really appreciate it. We're 32 away. I just checked it right now. We're 32 away from 1,000. So appreciate all the new subscribers. Thank you, and I appreciate every last one of y'all that's even asking how can y'all support the channel. I see it in there. I'm starting to see a couple of people that's been asking, and we appreciate y'all. The best chat on YouTube. But but Sophie, Sandy, and Lou, that's to answer your question, Lou. Yes, I want them mentally. Yes, do everything you feel like what's right to win games.
absolutely.
You don't have the cachet to do, like, to your point, Lord, they brought in John Harbaugh. Do whatever you think you can to get the team right, man. But you proven. You got a Super Bowl under your belt. But Jeff Hafley, no, you haven't proven nothing. I need you doing your best to show that you can put a winning franchise out there and coach these guys up to have a winning culture here. So that's my take on that.
Okay.
Mark, shout out to you, man. Kajewski.
Mark is a Bills fan, by the way.
Oh, appreciate you. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the other Mark. He's a Jets fan. Okay. Yeah. Well, Tone, we good? We good?
Yes, I'm great. He very calm session tonight. We are getting desensitized. It's crazy. We ain't gonna always. I mean, he ain't giving me nothing yet at him about today. Or for Sandy didn't get. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She ain't triggered me. She thought I was going to attack her, but I was like, nah, there wasn't nothing wrong with your statement.
I realized in mid sentence that it's safe. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
It's safe. It's safe to be a woman today. You know. You know.
The arguments and the disagreements have to happen organically.
Facts.
Yeah.
We just can't come out here, and even though y'all want to see it, and trust me, me and Tone want to get at each other. Well, pause on that, but y'all know what I mean. We trying to turn this thing up, and have a good time. We know that's what y'all are here for. But sometimes, you're gonna get shows like this as well, very informational, and maybe some trolling and laughing at the end too. But it for me at least, everything has to happen organically, and that's just in life. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Y'all will know when it pops off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And before I know you saying something.
Before
we get out of here, I wanted to make sure I did this before because I should have did it at the beginning. But I want to shout out to my homeboy Eddie. He's one of the new subscribers that we had got. One of my homeboys. His birthday today. So man, happy birthday to you, my good brother. And we appreciate you.
Hey, shout out to E, man. Happy birthday.
Sure. Well, for one of us, it's going to get real cold this season. I don't expect it to be me. And don't worry, you'll get to see a lot of going back and forth because we all have different opinions on how the season's going to shake out. Today was a nice recap. Tone, Lou, I appreciate you for, the decorum, I guess. But it was kind of on par. We all felt the same way. I mean, if you watch the live stream, make sure you watch us. We do live stream our reactions to the games. These sentiments were shared. we will see you Wednesday, and I'm really excited. Tony, I just have one question for you.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, yes.
Why? That's not the question. The question isn't why. With that first overall pick that you just somehow got, right? Because I think you picked top 2 in the last 2 drafts, if I remember correctly. I'm not saying this.
I had 3. I had 3 last year.
You had 3.
I was the third
We're
pick.
not gonna talk about it. But
Yeah, I had the third pick.
okay. So 1, 2, 3. Man, something needs to be studied. The algorithm needs to be algorithmic.
Am I picking 2? Is what I seen? Am I picking 2?
No, you're picking last.
Well, he got back to back. Oh wow.
Man, I don't care about no back to back. Man, this thing is rigged, man. Man, y'all be trying me around here, man.
I'm not gonna lie, Lou. Would you like to switch the first place for the 12th place?
No, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Y'all gonna stop doing me dirty like that. Matter of fact, they were asking for it. Y'all want me to start arguing with Tone and Finsanity? Is that what y'all? Is that what y'all want me to do?
I got picked 4.
My goodness.
I don't know how I didn't get 5, but I got picked 4. I was this close. But
level 2 news say he got 9th. Oh my God, level 2 news.
This is what I'm saying, noob. This is what I'm talking about, noob.
Tone, is it safe to say we should know who you're picking with the first overall pick?
Insanity, first of all, don't be giving people my sauce. Me and you the only one discuss draft strategies, and I told you.
Oh, y'all talking?
No,
hold on. Let me.
There's inside trading, is what I heard. Is that inside?
Because you tend to be real heavy on one person and every year. That's not a strategy.
Lou, I tried to get her to make a bet.
Huh?
I tried to get her to make a bet that I guarantee Bijan, he's not making out of the top 3. Hands down. I don't care who to pick it. He's not making out of the top 3 for sure.
That's crazy.
But I also did tell her once the draft starts, listen, we enemies. She don't like when I call her the op, but we enemies now.
No, so I ain't the op.
So it is safe to say.
Get your ice ready.
It is safe to say, right? That with that first overall pick, I am gonna pick the best player in the draft. It's safe to say that. That's what I can tell you.
He going A-chain. That's what it is. He going A-chain. You know he going A-chain. I know him.
He better.
If y'all know about the utilization and the usage, okay.
Yeah, he going A-chain. Our coach said he is willing to carry, put A-chain on his shoulders and carry him into the locker room from how much they gonna use him. Yeah, that's the number 1 pick.
Hey, but listen, I hate I hate the number 1 pick. The last time I got the number 1 pick in my other league, I drafted Christian McCaffrey. That's the year he got injured.
So you trying to trade? Is that what you're saying?
And hey, talk to me. Hey, Vicinity, look at fun fact. The last time I got the 2nd overall pick in my other league, the 5th overall pick, because I know you say you wanted 5. I drafted Brock Bowers last year, and we know what happened to him. So
hey, Jay Bird, I'm with you, Jay Bird.
Inside job, Lou.
I'm with you. First of all, I'm with Jay Bird, right? But I did want to highlight a comment real quick from the same.
Yes,
that was my mom. That was my mom. Hey, mom.
Hey,
shout out to mom.
Hey, mama, how you doing? Right?
Love you.
Finsanity 5 be holding it down. Lou and Tone, you are awesome. And I will say this.
We appreciate you.
We definitely appreciate those kind of comments. I'll say this, and it hasn't really happened like that, but when people always, and I'm just going to use the female, right, perspective. Well, why is a female up there with 2 gentlemen or this, that, and the third? I'm glad it says Finsanity holds it down. That's why Finsanity is here. Not only to hold it down, but again, and y'all going to hear it from me all the time, her great mind in the game of sports. Not in the game of football, in the game of sport. That's why Finsanity is here. So, Jay Bird, Mama, whatever I can call you, I completely agree with this message. Finsanity is great, and she always holds it down. And you know, I feel like I'm awesome. Tone's all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Tone, all right.
Would you say I'm her?
Well, Finsanity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're her. You definitely are her for
I would
sure.
say that Vicinity football and sports mind is great outside of her college football decisions. I'm just saying. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying. See,
damn.
that's the
Let's not
only
forget
one I
those.
can question.
No, we're not doing.
That's the
No,
only one I'm a question. I'm just saying.
now we really about to. No, I'm not arguing. Not arguing. Roll Tide. Like I said, we'll see you in the college football
Hey,
playoff. That's it. That's it.
yeah, I saw. Hey, Lou, there was a space y'all was running. Was it yesterday? I was getting all kind of DMs. Hey, you need to come here. They talking about the hurricane Vicinity attacking the hurricanes. I'm like, oh my god,
Tackle.
why this has to be the day that I'm super
Not
busy? I
attack.
couldn't jump in that
They
space,
they they they
man.
snitching. They snitching.
Hey,
I didn't say
they
nothing
told me she was attacked. Now I was told, Lou, that
Right.
she don't speak on or speak about irrelevant. You know what? Let me leave it alone.
Lou, did they bring them up or did I bring them up?
I don't know.
They
This is what I
they
was
they
told.
brought him up. To be fair, they brought him
I,
up.
I
I
was
didn't say
told
nothing about
she
them.
was
I
saying talking
said I was
about.
going to the college football playoffs.
the
That's
hurricane.
it.
I wasn't in the space. Is it recorded? I should go back.
Yeah, please go back and listen.
I might do that. Yeah. Game Boy say Tony's Beans are working overtime. I see.
Y'all bring y'all up to me and then expect me to just be like
Who's y'all? I wasn't there.
Canes fans.
Okay, facts. Paul say I agree.
mentioned
Tony H
themselves.
is okay. Shout out to you too, Paul. If I'm okay, I'll take that as a compliment, my good brother. But yeah, man. Vicinity Lou, anything before we get up out of here?
Roll Tide. That's it.
Y'all see, there you go. Well, for me, listen, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you to all our subscribers and our the new and old ones. Shout out to the Mars Squad. I see y'all in the building, flooding the chat. And shout out to every single one of y'all that came through today and that didn't assume. You know what? I'm gonna leave it like that. Go ahead. Go ahead. That didn't make no assumptions.
Man, this has been a wild and crazy day. I am kind of ready just to go spend a little time with the family. But this has been the Monday episode of the Blitz Pickup. Y'all know, y'all been rocking with us for a while. Y'all know we'll be back Wednesday for the next installment. For my brother, for myself, for our sister, Finsanity. This is once again been the Blitz Pickup. We'll see y'all Wednesday. The revolver goes to, and again, please tell people about us. We're only a couple away, about 30 away from 1,000. Let's
32.
see if we can get there. 32 away. Let's see if we can get there before the season. I believe with our chat and the people that are around us and follow us, we can get there. We love all the new subscribers. But the revolver tonight goes to Mama Bird. We'll holla at y'all.
Film study Wednesday. Yeah, we ain't forget. I got
I'm
y'all.
taking the day off.
I got y'all. Yeah, I want to skip it.
Nah. Listen, we feel like it would be very great for you.
It's only gonna be a couple of plays. That's it.
Y'all want to wash that trash again?
No, we
Yeah, let's
don't.
go,
That's why we.
Let's
Hey,
go.
you know what? If y'all go back in the comments and let me know, do y'all want us to do the film breakdown? You know, I did say I was supposed to actually. We should have did the poll earlier, if it's any, but we out of here, man. Peace out, y'all.